Now, I know what you're thinking. Really, it's only the second day of 2019 and you're already talking about the next Call of Duty game? Well, yeah, apparently. It only took one day of 2019 before the rumors for this year's Call of Duty game started to float around on the internet. And today, we're going to be discussing what we believe this year's game to be, what we hope and expect, and also crushing hopes and dreams of a certain sequel coming in 2019, which isn't going to happen. So, to start things off, Charlie Intel just reported an article about the next game not being Call of Duty Ghosts 2. I think there's a lot of people watching this video right now that are pretty happy about that. The only downside to there not being a Call of Duty Ghosts 2 means that there's probably no Extinction 2, but hey, we didn't get that in Infinite Warfare either. Does this mean that we're going to get Infinite Warfare Zombies 2 though? That's something which is a question that we can't answer right now. How do we know that it's not Ghosts 2? Well, over the last few weeks, Infinity Ward's communications manager Ashton Williams has been teasing on her personal Twitter account with a load of different GIFs over the past few weeks, which are obviously tied to the Call of Duty game releasing this year by Infinity Ward. Lots of people have been assuming that this particular GIF showing a ghost appears to be teasing a sequel to Call of Duty Ghosts, but Kotaku reporter Jason Schreier, who is known for industry sources, responded on a thread on Reset Era saying that Call of Duty 2019 is not Ghosts 2. Some of you might be a little bit skeptical as to believing this Kotaku reporter, but he is the sole person who has gotten absolutely everything right when it comes to knowing stuff far ahead of anyone else in the gaming industry. He's the person that reported that Black Ops 4 was going to be Black Ops 4, which was during 2017, as well as getting the eras for that, as well as Infinite Warfare, and basically the past few years has been absolutely bang on. Bearing in mind what he said and probably what Activision are thinking, Call of Duty Ghosts 2 would definitely not go down too well, even though in hindsight looking back, that game actually wasn't too bad. But what the rumor mill is floating around saying is that this year's Call of Duty game is going to be Modern Warfare 4, and I really hope it is going to be Modern Warfare 4 for a multitude of different reasons. It seems like it is the most likely at this point, judging by how the past two Infinity Ward games have been a bit of a flop in comparison. It is the only thing which I think they can do now to prove themselves as the kings of the studios again, and to bring Call of Duty back into the absolute juggernaut that it was back in the day when Modern Warfare was the popular Call of Duty franchise rather than Black Ops. I also believe it might be Modern Warfare 4 because Charlie Intel posted an article back in May of last year that they heard that it was going to be Modern Warfare 4 as well. And Charlie Intel are mostly always correct with their information. They have such a big responsibility when it comes to this sort of thing that they can't just half guess this sort of thing. They'd have to have their own information to back up this stuff, and they have heard information that lines up with what they've heard about the next Call of Duty title to be from Infinity Ward, which they believe to be Modern Warfare 4. Now, the sole main reason why I believe it's Modern Warfare 4 is from the wording from Activision's former CEO during an investors call in 2018 in February, where he has said that he is very excited for Call of Duty and says that they believe that they have the best 3-year slate in Call of Duty history, which is really saying something given the franchise's history. And they're saying that they have many game universes that players love on tap. And so obviously there's more to come on that. This was said at a time when World War II was the current game, Black Ops 4 was on the cusp of being announced, which obviously he knew was going to be very exciting as it's a new Black Ops game. And he's probably saying that as well because Modern Warfare 4 is on the horizon for the year after Black Ops 4. And we could sit here all day and look at Ashton Williams, who is the communications manager at Infinity Ward, stare at her tweets, but we're not really going to get anything concrete out of those. What we can do is just sort of predict and talk about what we think could happen this year. And with my personal taste with Call of Duty, I'm very happy with the Black Ops series, and as long as they keep updating the game with more DLCs, I probably would be happy to not have another COD this year, but the idea of it being Modern Warfare 4 is incredibly exciting and could bring the series back to the biggest heights that it managed to get during the best parts of the last console generation with Modern Warfare 2. Definitely think Black Ops 4 is a banger of a COD game, and Blackout is definitely keeping it up there, but it's going to be very interesting to see what Call of Duty is going to be like after Black Ops 4 with the next game. Now, do you remember last year with all of the drama surrounding the MW2 remaster, which never happened? Well, that was a very strange situation, and if you don't recall, let me refresh your memory. Charlie Intel got new information about Modern Warfare 2 Remastered from a source that sent the materials from a Raven Software employee indicating that Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is a thing, but does not have a multiplayer mode and that it was a campaign-only remaster. They believe the information that they got was accurate, and it lined up with a Amazon Italy listing which stated that the Modern Warfare 2 Remaster would cost $25, which is a lot less than what Activision charged for Modern Warfare Remastered on its own, but that included both single player and multiplayer. After that, there was, a weird time where Activision were having different live streams showcasing stuff like Crash Bandicoot, and everyone was spamming Twitch chat with Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, and we heard nothing from it since. I still definitely believe that Modern Warfare 2 exists, and I think this year is when we're going to see it, and it could possibly be a pre-order bonus with Call of Duty 2019. Now, it would be obvious that with Modern Warfare Remastered and Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, it would make sense for them to also remaster Modern Warfare 3, that way we have a complete collection of the campaigns remastered on the current gen hardware to get us ready for the new story in Modern Warfare 4. If they remaster both 2 and 3, then are we going to get multiplayer for both? And this is something which, if it was down to me and my preference, I would probably go with Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer over Modern Warfare 3. If there wasn't any multiplayer aspect for either of those two games, if they both were to be remastered, there would be an absolute outrage, because Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer was, without question, the most popular Call of Duty multiplayer that there's ever been. If they were to bring it back and not have multiplayer, I think it would literally be the worst idea ever. But I want to know down below in the comment section, what do you think Call of Duty 2019 is going to be this year from Infinity Ward, and what would you like to see personally? It's looking like it's going to be Modern Warfare 4, and I'll be very surprised if it isn't. But if it's not, what would you want it to be, and what sort of themes would you want it to have? Another big question, which could be a video entirely on its own, is would you want it to have zombies, or would you want it to have some other sort of co-op mode? When it comes to multiplayer, would just a multiplayer mode be enough for the game to survive when it comes up against the previous COD with Blackout as well as multiplayer? Does multiplayer on its own slide in 2019? I don't really know. There's a real fine line between like the nostalgia of remembering how good it was, but would it still play as good as it did all the way back in 2009 in 2019? That's the big question. Infinity Ward have a lot of weight on their shoulders, but I'm sure we will hear and learn more over the next weeks and months. But I'm very excited just to hear what else is coming up for Black Ops 4 in the meantime on the run up to that. Anyway, I'm going to end things here. Let me know what you thought in the comments section, what you'd like this year's game to be. Any other updates, I'll be sure to update you guys with future videos. Thanks to Charlie Intel for the article posts. And if you're excited for the future, possibly Modern Warfare 4, feel free to leave a like rating as well as hitting that subscribe button. But thank you for watching. I'll catch you for another one very, very soon.